Hey everybody, Run342 here with another Warframe gameplay. And it has been quite a while, but we have seen quite a few things in the recent past weeks. The dev stream in Warframe, the big elephant in the room, which I'm personally very excited about, is the new Warframe that was teased in the dev stream, codenamed Vlad. It won't be really named that, but as of now, that's what they're calling it, as just a name-wise to call it something. It looks like an Eidolon in a way. It has like the appearance of one of the Eidolons you would fight in the Plains of Eidolon. It's supposedly a vampiric type of Warframe, so the Warframe can make enemy combatants fall down, stay down. You could turn them into trance so that they are your allies at specific points. You could just kill them as well. So there's lots of details coming out with this Warframe. You can see that in the latest dev stream. So that is the big thing, and it looks really magnificent. They even teased the alt helmet for it as well. So it looks, you have two different styles. One that looks like it has a beard, and the other one that has like some specific type of hairstyle for it, but that's just the helmet. But that frame, we'll know more about it in future events. I'm looking forward to that. As well as this month, June, The Sacrifice is supposedly coming out. So it's been a while. Could this mean we will finally get our Excalibur Umbra? We'll find out, won't we, this month. Right now we've seen a teaser of everything that's come. To be able to do this quest, The Sacrifice, you must have completed all the other previous quests to get to this one. There will be a link in the description of what you need to complete, as well as a link in that specific description of how to claim a specific item. This specific item is a tea set that you could get for free in Warframe by just clicking the link, redeeming your code, and you just put it into the Warframe website and you'll get your teacup. You can place it anywhere in your ship. It is something free, it's cosmetic, so why not? It's there for you. That is that. Speaking of which, the video you're seeing behind you, well, in this video, sorry, the video you're seeing here is just me taking down an Eidolon for the first time. Lots of fun. It took me 30 minutes to get this down, and then my game for some reason glitched, so I couldn't use a single one of my abilities. I could just cycle through them, but I couldn't use them. And I also couldn't get out into my operator for some reason. So at the end of the video, which you won't see because it's extremely long, or I might just add it in there, I was unable to do anything, only shoot my weapon. So I had to run away, hide behind rocks, so I wouldn't die constantly. But that's a glitch or a bug in the game that it's really frustrating, and you can't really do anything. Thankfully, the other people in the group, which were complete strangers, were able to defeat the Eidolon while I was just bugged, and all I could do is shoot when it was when you're able to shoot it with weapons instead of your operator. Moving on, we have the Twitch Prime event coming back. This time you need to be a member of, you need to have a Twitch Prime membership, sorry, to obtain this exclusive free reward. Granted, when I say free, you get it for free as long as you pay your membership for Twitch Prime. So technically it's not free unless you get a free month, but I don't know. I don't do Twitch Prime. But you can get Trinity Prime if you don't have Trinity Prime with the new Septaka Prime Sandana, which is a new scarf for your Warframe. That is that. We also have some more changes here. We have the Remote Observer Volume 1 has been released on the site, as well as some minimum support spec changes. We're going to talk about the spec changes real quick. It is specifically for the support of DX9 and 32-bit systems. It is phasing out in Warframe. They are aiming to phase this out, and pretty much if you're still running Windows XP, a DirectX 9, or 32-bit operating systems, Warframe is going to be discontinuing support for those PC specs. So this is specifically for PC users, since if you put on Xbox One or PS4, you don't have to worry about these changes. But that is going down, and if you want to know why all this is happening, there will be a link in the description below, linking to that specific page, explaining why you're doing this. So that is that. And lastly, let's talk about the Remote Observer, since that will take a bit here. We have the PC console changes here. So I'm going to briefly go over the PC ones and then the console. So we got some quality of life changes. This is things that if you do not know already. You might have already known this if you watch the dev streams or you read forum posts. But if you don't, this will be some news for you. It says here that they doubled the maximum amount of loadout slots you could purchase with Platinum. You could purchase a total of 20. The new decorator role has been added to the dojo hierarchies. The role will allow the player to place and remove decorations and change room color lighting without the ability to destroy and build rooms. So that is a dojo quality of life change. You could give that role, that position, to one of your clanmates, and they'll be pretty much decorating your dojo for you without destroying anything, which is actually quite nice. So now, if you're not into that color scheme, or you know someone who's really good with designing, just give them that role and they can design your dojo without moving any of your accessories. So that's a nice change. We have here, they added the Contribute All button from Dojo Room Decorated Resources and Dojo Research Contributions. So when you're contributing to your dojo, instead of selecting how much you want to put, if you want to put all of them, instead of clicking it and letting it scroll up or typing the max amount you have, you could just click the Contribute All and it'll just put everything you have for contribution. There's also a reset button in the obstacle course to clear all decorations. So if you have stuff's in the way, you're in your obstacle course, you want to remove it, you don't have the time to just go to the specific one. You just click remove all and it removes it all for you. Here's another one, leaving the launcher idle, which is the Warframe launcher, will periodically recheck for updates every 30 minutes. Again, if you want to go to bed before any major updates, this means you can just leave the launcher open and it'll download it while you sleep. Really nice. So this is for those of you on I'm not sure if this, for those of you on PC, this is the whole PC quality of life change. If you just turn on the Warframe launcher through Steam or through the actual icon for Warframe, and you don't do anything, you just leave it open, or like the example here says, you go to bed. If there's a massive update, a red text update that you get, or a patch, it will automatically do that for you while it checks every 30 minutes for any patch or update. So it'll do it for you without you having to click anything, which is, it's interesting. I'm a major network security type of person, so that has its ifs for me, but hey, it's Warframe, I trust them. Now we have some in-mission quality of life changes here. In an effort to make excavation fissures more enjoyable and successful, we've increased void fissure spawn rates depending on how many excavators are deployed. That's actually nice, because if you're doing very well in an excavation fissure, and you go through all the, well, you're done, you don't want to do any more, or the timer runs out because you finished what you're supposed to do for excavation, you could extract. Sometimes you extract too quickly, and you don't get all your necessary reactants to get your reward. That is a scenario. Not sure if that happened. I don't do much excavation fissures. I do mostly capture fissures or extermination fissures. That's mostly my preference. But that's a thing. More void fissures will spawn during the mission depending on how many excavators are deployed. So more excavators are deployed, the more void fissures will pop. And lastly here for PC, for consistency, damage link abilities such as Trinity, Nidus, and Necros's linked abilities, that's what links to the enemy, will no longer transmit self-damage, but you will still get the damage reduction. So if you were to hit yourself with an Ogress and you have Trinity Link on and there's enemies there, supposedly when you did that, you wouldn't take the full-blown blast of your Ogress. The enemy would, who's linked. Now that has changed, so now any damage you do to yourself won't really blast the enemy linked to you. The damage of what you just did to yourself will be reduced. That's what I get from that. Do correct me if I'm wrong, because that's what I'm thinking right now. Because I don't do that ever. But that's an idea. And now for console, quick update recap. So you guys are going to get for the Xbox and PS4, you're going to get the Serum Revisited patch, GPU particles that we received for PC, your Dojo 2.0, so that means including the room lighting controls and an obstacle course, custom obstacle courses. pretty much what I just explained for PC. You can remove all the decorations in your obstacle course. That's something that will be coming as well. You have the virtual cursor, which is a UI, part of the big UI change. So this free-moving virtual cursor is now is the new default way in which you interact with menus, and the items within those menus. So you got that going on. We also have some in-mission updates for the console. Sorry if we heard some shaking. Was kind of moving the table there slightly. We have quite a few changes here that are coming to the console. We have some in-mission ones, so melee attacks, including spin attacks, will no longer sweep through the walls and objects. Okay, Eidolon lures will wait until the Eidolon has fully disappeared to be auto-destroyed. Okay, instead of being auto-destroyed when the sun rises at dawn. Kind of annoying. Replace the Comba and Scramblus nullifying aura with aura has been replaced. Oh, read that. With a power that can activate in combat. Alright. Upon use, it creates an expanding sphere that nullifies player powers and disrupts them for 2.5 seconds. Shooting off Scrumbus, Combus, Helmet, or killing them will negate the sphere. Okay, so the Scrumbus will be a physical sphere that you can see just like the nullifiers. You shoot their heads off, or you just shoot their head and you disable it. Okay, that's what I understood from that. Added a new fishing UI, the new fishing HUD. Selecting a spear in your gear wheel will open the fishing HUD, where you can switch between spear, die, and bait on the fly. Alright. Improve the layout and flow of the Grenier Shipyard defense tile, including adding a new navigation and building to give AI more of a 360-degree attack option. Ooh, that's challenging. Napalm and rocket bombard quality of life changes. Reduce the bombard's rocket explosion radius from 6 meters to 4 meters, and the napalms from 10 meters to 4. Massive nerf to the napalm's blast. Wow. Reduced it by 6 meters, while the bombard is just 2. Interesting. Fix the smoke trail behind bombards and napalm rockets to persist for life of projectile. Okay. Trail was disappearing after 8 seconds and 5 seconds of flight time, respectively, making it very hard to see the rocket. Oh yeah, that sucks. The rocket's really tiny, you only use the smoke. Reduced lifetime of the napalm's fire explosion effects from 10 seconds to 7 seconds. Added a damage element to those fire effects, minor heat damage and heat proc touched. Alright, you got the Grand Theft Daggeron. So now you could shoot the pilot and take the Daggeron that's in the plains of Eidolon, the little ship that the Grenier fly around and shoot you with. They added the ability to control them. So you could use the switch teleport on Loki to take control, on the pilot to take control of the Daggeron. You could shoot the pilot and take control of the Daggeron. All sorts of things. Daggeron. Then you have some miscellaneous options here. Added the claim all button to the foundry. It appears when you have more than one item ready to claim. Oh, about time, right? Jeez. Exiting the relics selection menu now counts as a non-vote instead of a decline. Okay. We now show you what camera is being highlighted in advanced Captura mode. So if you're in a Captura mode person, if you're one of those people who loves Captura, this is definitely for you. You'll know which camera is being highlighted in the advanced options. Improved Captura speed multiplier controls for controllers. Okay, some options for your controller. And added the ability to replay the Once Awake quest. So those are all the changes in the remote observer. If you want to read it yourself, just in case I murmured or couldn't speak clearly, you can understand me. They'll be also linked in the description below. So that's it. Actually, we're gonna wrap it up now. This is what's going down. You have the free Twitch Prime, which is back with Trinity Prime and the new Sundana. You have the remote observer released, and you have the minimum support spec changes, which are for specifically PC users. As for information on the new Warframe, codename Vlad, there's no link to that. There is a link to the new quest coming out, The Sacrifice, which also should be linked below. If you click it, you'll see a big image of the beautiful and magnificent... well, I'm not going to spoil it for you, just watch it. But yeah, it's interesting. And then I'm going to shoot for too. I got a lot of stuff to do now, folks. I'm sorry for the late video, but I barely have time anymore. But I'm trying to make it. Massive thunderstorm outside, so I better do this before I lose power. Alright everyone, I'll see you next time when I see you. Take care, everyone.